What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So I want to talk about the Devin Haney fight. And before I do that, I want to say shout out to all my new family. We at 261, baby. 261. I remember first starting this channel out, and I said I'm gonna be real about what I do. I'm just gonna be me. You know, like I said initially before, I wasn't sure what kind of channel I wanted to do. I know I wanted to incorporate boxing, combat sports into it and all, but just certain conversations that I would see on different channels, different type of channels, and I realized, what, it doesn't matter what kind of channel I have. You're going to just have certain people, but you just got to figure out how you're going to deal with different situations, whatever your method may be. But I'm going to always be real. I'm never going to be a yes man, and I'm never going to be fake, and so obviously what I'm doing is paying off for the right reasons. So I appreciate everybody. I thank y'all. And I take the time and I try to address every single comment that I get. Now, like I said, people get disrespectful and want to be ignorant. I'm not going to put up with that. Because me and a person don't agree on something doesn't mean it's an issue there. Or like, oh, nah, I don't want this, person talking to me. But, like I said, like all this people with this, oh, you a coon, you a sellout. Nah, you getting blocked. Okay. So you can have your thoughts and keep it to your goddamn self. And I don't need to hear it because I really don't care about all that nonsense. Ain't nothing fake. Ain't no sellout, nothing coonery about this brother right here. So at the end of the day, I ain't dealing with that. And I appreciate everybody. I want to say shout out to, I got somebody from Rochester, New York over here. Shout out to New Zealand. Shout out to Japan. Shout out to the UK. Globally, everywhere. Shout out to everybody. Everywhere. Okay. Now, Devin Haney and Gamboa. The fight itself was, I had it a 12-round shutout. And a lot of people are knocking Devin Haney because they feel like he lacks power. Now, there's many people. Gamboa has been down what 11, 12, 13 times in his career now, because I think he was at 11 when he fought Tank Davis, and Tank Davis knocked him down, I think, twice. So the fact was he was taking flush shots from Devin Haney and he wasn't going down. He never even looked hurt, like he was on the verge of going down that one time in the fight. I knew that this, fight would be compared to Tank Davis's fight. Now, if you guys remember, Tank Davis, he was being criticized because they felt like Gamboa was past his prime and Tank should have been able to get him out of there. But that goes to show you that, yeah, Tank can punch, and we know he can punch. And Gamboa was standing up to a lot of his shots. Now, no, Devin Haney doesn't have Tank Davis kind of power. No, he doesn't have to have that kind of power, though. What I will tell you is people are overlooking his boxing skills. He pitched a shutout. Even Gamboa's best rounds wasn't even close enough, in my opinion, for me to even consider giving him a round. But Gamboa is a veteran. He's not what he used to be, but he's not 100% finished. Okay, as far as him beating an elite level fighter, I don't see him doing that. And it's not like he even came close to doing that. In all actuality, he had more offense against Tank than he did against Devin Haney. Now, people that's writing Devin Haney off saying, oh, he has no power, he can't beat Ryan Garcia, he can't beat Tank, he can't beat Lopez. Look, that's yet to be seen. But understand something. If Devin Haney had no power, then Gamboa should have ran through him. People used to say the same thing about Floyd. Floyd don't have no power, which was not true. He has enough on his shots to make you not just rush in and like do a Paulie Malignaggi, Sean Porter type thing. You don't run through a person when they have power and you're not running through them, and you have that type of style that's what you do. There's power there. His movement, his boxing skills, all that was there, but he basically won every round, made it look easy. Now, for people that were saying it was a boring fight and that Devin should have did more, okay. It is what it is. but I'm not counting him out against any of the top guys. I'm not counting him out at all. You got to understand that fights don't always happen the way you plan on it happening. In that fight, he was fighting on the back foot most of the fight, and then in the later rounds, he started to come forward because he was trying to get Gamboa out of there. And a lot of times when you're trying to knock a guy out, instead of just letting it come, being selective with your shots, setting traps and all that, you're more focused on trying to get the knockout. And he said he was trying to upstage Tank Davis. Well, think about, Evander Holyfield versus Burt Cooper. He was trying to impress everybody in his hometown. They know that the fight between him and Mike Tyson, that's what they wanted, right? And he tried to impress the fans. He got dropped in that fight. He was hitting Burt Cooper with everything, and Burt Cooper was like, I'm not going nowhere. The referee had to stop the fight. I think he did drop him once in that fight, maybe. But regardless, he was bringing it to Evander Holyfield. And the first thing people started saying was, nah, this guy can't beat Mike. He's struggling with Burt Cooper, right? Same thing when he fought Bobby Ches. Evander Holyfield was hitting Bobby Ches with everything. Bobby Ches just refused to go down. So again, Mike gonna eat this guy up. And if you remember that fight, remember how Mike walked to the ring and he's walking so fast, like, I can't wait to get here. And I remember one of the commentators saying, I'm pretty sure Mike Tyson somewhere right now is watching this fight, licking his chops like, yeah, I want Evander, because to people, he didn't look impressive. What happened when they fought, though? Now, making excuses about, but Mike was older. Well, Evander Holyfield is 4 years older than Mike Tyson, so let's not go there. And was having wars with much bigger guys when Mike Tyson was away for 4 years. So that's not even a factor, man. Let's not even take it there. So when you look at Devin Haney, no, he wasn't able to get him out of there. And yes, he was catching him with flush shots. And yes, I can understand why people feel like, oh man, he has no power. He has power, not no power. He doesn't have the power that I guess people would like for him to have, because for him to hit a guy with that many clean shots and he don't go down, I get it. But you don't go into a fight with no power and have a guy that can walk you down or run through you, and it just doesn't happen. That means he respects what's on those shots. And like I said, we've seen Floyd do the same thing. People say Floyd has no power. Floyd was getting so many knockouts as a light heavyweight. As a lightweight. When he moved up to welterweight, and as his hands started to get brittle, he started having hand trouble. Yeah, he was getting less and less knockouts. But he was hitting hard enough with guys who strong, younger guys who normally known for coming in, putting that pressure on. Like when people say, oh, I don't know why he's not doing this and this. He should be doing this and this and this. I've said this before. The reason he's not doing it is because he can't. His opponent is not allowing him. So you're looking at a fight using your imagination of what the guy should be doing. It's easier said than done. And fighters say the same thing, right, when they're commentating. But when they're in the ring and they're in those same situations, you find them doing the same things or worse. So saying one thing and being able to do it is two different things. I think Devin Haney looked good. Boxing-wise, his skills were there. And he looked good. Different fighters want to chime in and say, oh, he didn't do this, or he should have been doing this, he should have been doing that. They're going to do that. But at the end of the day, I feel like, like I said, he was cracking him and he wasn't going down. So, okay, I can understand people questioning his power. Put it like that. Let's say it like that. I wouldn't say he has no power. No. To me, that's false. To question his power, I can understand that. But is it necessary? Because look at how, he outboxed him easily. Made it look like, it just looked like a sparring match. So, people don't like to see those long fights. They want to see spectacular knockouts. But you can't go by always with this guy. He beat this guy and look at this guy. Sometimes you can. I don't see this as that situation. It would be one thing. Completely different. I'd be saying something completely different if Devin Haney struggled. Like he went in there and Gamboa was giving him trouble. He wasn't giving him trouble at all. He was just in the ring, fighting the best that he could. He was taking Haney shots, but that was about it. It wasn't close at all. Pitched a 12-round shutout. Give the man some credit. It might not have been the most spectacular fight or finish, but he did what he had to do. And pretty much Tank Davis was under that same scrutiny. Oh man, Tank should have got him out of there. You know, this guy dropped him. This guy did this, and Tank can't. Now all of a sudden, because of Haney's performance, Tank's performance don't look that bad now, right? Because Tank was cracking him and was able to drop him. See, but this is what people do. And you got to understand when each fight is different. So when you're in there and you're seeing things a certain way, you're trying to do something more than just let it come. Looking for that knockout, a lot of times people get knocked out. Or looking for that knockout, it just takes away from your focus of fighting, building up, you know, doing the things that you could do to get the guy out of there. In this case, Haney was cracking him with everything. But I think he was trying so hard to get the knockout, and he was trying to throw punches so hard. I think Gamboa was able to telegraph a lot of it. So even when it landed, he was moving with a lot of the shots, and even the shots that did land. And face it, no, Haney's not a huge puncher. Let's say that. But to say he has no power, nah. Let's not forget, he sparred Tank Davis before. He sparred Garcia. Okay, he sparred Lopez. And if you heard the stories, is, you know, and I know people will say, and it's true, yeah, sparring is different, but no, at the same time, these guys have done this before. So I don't see anybody blowing the other out. You know, amongst those guys, I want to see the fights regardless. I want to see them, but I feel like he did the best he could that night. You know, Ali, Ray Robinson, Ray Leonard, everybody, Marvin Hagler, everybody has had performances where they didn't look their best, but I feel like he did a good job, but he's not getting credit for what he did because I think people was expecting a knockout, and mostly because they feel like Gamboa was finished, you know, and they feel like he should have been able to get him out of there. But at the end of the day, look, we'll be on to the next one and see how things go. And I feel like not only did I feel like he did a good job, but with people looking saying that, you know, he's not going to beat this guy and that guy, it's going to bring interest in the fight amongst the Tank Davises, Lopez's, Ryan Garcias, and, you know, that's what you want to happen. But the negative press, well, it's going to be there as well. Anyway, look, that's all I'm going to say on this video, and I will catch y'all on the next one.